Hello, and welcome to another edition of Hours and Minutes, where we take hours of information and condense it into just a few palatable minutes. With me today, we have Michael Tessler. Michael is BY's president, and today we're talking about MYGAs, multi-year guarantee annuities. So, Michael, it seems in the industry and specifically at BY over the last few months, activities with these fixed annuities has really increased. Can you take a minute and explain what a MYGA is and why you think it's increasing in popularity?
I can. Well, as you already said, MYGA, multi-year guarantee annuity. So this is an annuity plan where the credited interest rate is guaranteed for a period of time, multiple years. And right now, the 3 and the 5-year MYGA plans are getting a great deal of attention because there's a lot of people who have money on the sideline. Financial advisors tell us that regularly these people are purchasing brokered CDs and other things and looking for ways to enhance their yield, still using a very conservative product like the CD and looking for an alternative. The annuity plans offer 3 and 5-year rate guarantees with an exit strategy at the end of 3 or 5 years, so the client can enjoy a fully guaranteed return that is, in most instances, significantly higher than the return they are seeing from brokered CDs.
Got it. And so, conservative investment and beyond the interest rate, there are certain tax advantages.
There are indeed. Like all annuities, these plans grow tax deferred, which of course only helps the yield be even larger than a taxable alternative. Now, for a lot of these people, they're not deferring very long because they feel like they're sitting on the sideline for that brief period of time, 3 years, 5 years, and probably will re-enter the market at that time. However, during that period of time, they certainly enjoy some tax advantages.
Okay. And for advisors not accustomed to writing this kind of business, it's a little different. Would you mind speaking to some of the differences that advisors might come across that they might not be used to?
Well, for many advisors, they have a compliance department that looks into the suitability of the recommendations and things that they make. And when you write deferred annuities, there is a compliance unit that is going to look into the suitability of the transaction. So different than opening a brokerage account or something like that. These plans they're completed with an application and a check, and do have some suitability requirements. In addition to that, many, if not most, of the carriers out there also have specific annuity training that must be completed by the advisor prior to selling one of these. And again, in many instances, can't speak for every carrier, but frequently the advisor must have completed all of the annuity training, be licensed, be ready to get appointed, et cetera, and ready to go. And of course, it does require a life insurance license to sell this. So for advisors who have no longer keep an insurance license, this is not an option that they can offer to their client.
Got it. And is it fair to say, in order for an advisor to lock a rate, they got to have the premium check in most cases, generally speaking, application in good order, suitability completed, and licensing completed? Any one of those things would generally jeopardize their ability to lock in the rate?
That is absolutely correct. So making sure your ducks are in a row becomes pretty important on these transactions.
Absolutely. So in your example, you use 3 and 5-year MYGAs. What happens at the end of the third or fifth year?
Good question. Of course, it varies carrier by carrier, but most carriers have a window that opens up at the end of the 3 or 5-year period that allows for a penalty-free withdrawal, or exchange, or whatever is appropriate for the client at that time. If the client does nothing, it will automatically renew for another 3 or 5-year period of time. So it's incumbent upon the client and certainly advisable for their financial advisor to have a tickler file set up to remind them prior to the end of the rate guarantee period that it's time to review what the plans are for that block of money. You can leave it certainly and it'll renew, or if you choose to exchange it perhaps to a different annuity or surrender it with the hopes of putting it back into the market. While we can't give tax advice, I do want to remind you that, of course, any taxation is ordinary income, not capital gain. And if a client is pre-59.5, when they take money out of an annuity, there is an additional 10% excise tax on top of that.
Got it. Okay, well, good information. These rates are changing on a daily basis almost. If anybody needs to get up-to-date rates, they can go to BY's website, go to tools, and then quoting, and there will be an annuity search where you can get up-to-date information. If anyone has future questions that they would like addressed on Hours and Minutes, keep them coming. You can send those to marketing@byusa.com. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks.